Hello and welcome to the Beauty Know-It-All. Summer is officially over and it's time to undo the sun damage. I know very few people who have not, at some level, damaged their skin this summer. I actually don't go away in the summer. I have spent most of this summer stuck in this office writing copy. But most of my friends have been on holiday with their children and they've been super concerned about their children's skin and have paid scant attention to their own, or they've been caught out running around London and been sunburnt, or they've noticed that some of their freckles have come up or their pigmentation has come up. I personally ravaged my skin through the 1970s and 80s before people realised that the sun was really damaging for your skin. And now I'm a sort of sit in the shade and don't spend too much time in the sun person. And that's because I am battling pigmentation as I get older, not hugely so. It's certainly not melasma, which is a hormonally driven skin problem that you tend to get the mask of pregnancy. But I've noticed as I've got older, and I've talked about this before, on my chest where I haven't worn SPF every single day, I've got a little bit of pigmentation beginning to start. Very lucky with my hands are really pigment free. But I've noticed on my face, I've started to get little brown age spots and a little patch on this side of vascularized pigmentation and sun damage. And so I've been having IPL treatments. The truth of the matter is I've been having IPL treatments for, well, probably as long as IPL's been around. I first had my pigmentation treated probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And you don't need to go very often. One treatment and it then basically flakes off. 2 treatments and it's kind of gone in my situation. But obviously if you then go out in the sun again or you get caught with that SPF, it comes back. So I want to talk to you today about IPL, which is intense pulse light. A couple of weeks ago I posted a video about home IPL machines to get rid of hair. Well, the same technology can be used to get rid of pigmentation in your skin. Essentially, IPL is a broad spectrum light. It's an energy that's flashed into the skin and the light is targeted to attack the melanin. So it basically heats up the melanin, that's the brown pigment in the patches in your skin. The heat is so strong that it basically goes into the melanin and it heats it up and it kind of explodes within the skin. And then what happens is your body sees it as a foreign matter and it either sends in the white blood cells to get it from below, or if it's fairly near to the surface, which most pigmentation is, what it does is it goes super dark straight away, so you look like you've been splattered in mud, and then it comes to the surface of the skin as a scab. And oh, so satisfying. A week to 10 days later, one day you wash your face and it slowly sloughs away. It's very, very satisfying. It's highly recommended for most forms of pigmentation, but you do need to go and see an expert first to make sure that your pigmentation isn't being caused either by irritation or inflammation, and certainly not by hormonal problems like melasma. Otherwise, IPL can actually make the problem worse. So what happened was, actually probably a few months ago now, I went to see Dr Diana Piana Mariton at Dr Sebagh's clinic and I had the treatment and I filmed it. Now, the video I'm going to show you is incredibly noisy because what she's got is, you know, she wasn't going to fake anything or set anything up just for me to film. I actually went in, a friend of mine filmed it for me, and essentially what you'll see is what actually happens. There is a very strong light on my face, which is because she needs to see what she's doing. It's the light she was working by, and the noise you can hear is basically the cool air firing at my face. So I'm going to show you what happens when you go and how it feels, and then I'm going to drop in some pictures that I put on Instagram, so this is the reason I'm doing it, before and after the treatment, when the pigment goes super, 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 super dark, and then when it falls off, so that I can show you exactly what happens and how long that process takes. So what happens is, you go in, she puts gel on your face to cool your skin down, you're blasted out with cool air, again to cool the skin down, because the process produces heat, and for most of the time is not that unpleasant. It's basically a light and a sort of flash of heat, not unpleasant at all, especially not on the cheeks. It tends to get a lot more painful once you come in around the nose, the lip area. That's where all the nerves are concentrated, and the deeper the pigmentation, the more it tends to sort of flash and hurt. In fact, I laugh at one point that you can smell my moustache burning. I don't really have much of a moustache, but that light is so powerful, that IPL is so powerful, it will target any pigment, including my light brown, super fine hairs that I have as a moustache. I probably had this treatment about once a year. I highly recommend it for somebody who was raised in the 70s, 80s. I mean, basically anybody probably 40 plus that's beginning to notice that you've got pigmentation. You can have it done anywhere on your body. You can certainly have it done on your hands. And I definitely want to have my neck done first. I also said that I would vlog about my laser treatment, and I will, but that's with a totally different therapist, and it has a totally different aim, because that's actually to firm and refine the skin. And I'm going to film that as well, I promise. But I thought I'd be really honest and open about the treatments I've had, because I like to think I look fairly good for my age, but I don't look that good without help. Yes, I have a little bit of Botox, and I'm also going to film that for you. And I do have occasional laser work, not hugely, you know, maybe 1 or 2 treatments a year. And I have this IPL treatment also probably about once every 2 years. I probably should go more often and be a bit more high maintenance. But most of the time, I just don't have the time to do it because I'm too busy vlogging about it or writing about it for you guys. So that's my guide to IPL for skin. It works really, really well on very pale skins, probably, as I said on the hair removal video, up to kind of Eva Longoria, kind of Jen Aniston. The minute you get into the Tandy Newton to Naomi Campbell Fitzpatrick scale of skin, go and see an expert, because basically the light is targeting the melanin, and if you've got a lot of melanin in your skin, lucky you, you've got gorgeous skin. But obviously, you know, one, you probably are not going to get age spots the same way that I do the pigmentation patches in the same way, but it certainly can't be treated the same way. You need to go to an expert, somebody like Diana Piana Mariton at Dr Sebagh, who I trust implicitly. I really like the team at the private clinic, and also Debbie Thomas, who actually will use IPL to treat pigmentation if she sees a problem. That's not what I'm seeing for her at the moment. So that's the Beauty Know-It-All on IPL removal of skin pigmentation, age spots. It can be used to treat freckles as well. Personally, I adore freckles. If I had freckles, I would keep them. What I'm talking about is large collections of brown skin that when your tan goes just stays there, essentially, because a tan is a sign of skin damage. And what eventually happens is the melanocytes, the skin cells, they kind of just go into a free-for-all, and they can't stop overproducing, because they've been sensitized, they can't stop overproducing the melanin even when the sun goes. So they basically keep on producing it. And I have to say, ever since I've had this treatment a couple of years ago, I tend to keep my face out of the sun now. I wear a hat, I wear a mineral sunscreen, because I don't get on very well with chemical sunscreens. They tend to make my chin break out. And I kind of just lie in the shade. I do still sunbathe my body, because I like to have, you know, a sort of gentle tan, and I tan really easily. I've got Eastern European skin and very dark brown eyes, but with my face, I don't see the point in investing hundreds of pounds in a treatment like this and then going back in the sun. So that's my guide to IPL treatment for my age spots, and explains why I don't really have that many. But I'm going to show you the before and after pictures to prove that I did have them, but then I had them zapped away. Ask questions. I can recommend clinics within the UK, specifically in London, but I want you to join in below if you've had this treatment and if you liked it, and if you can recommend clinics outside of London, because that's the key. Because obviously I will only recommend what I've personally tried, and I won't just recommend a clinic willy-nilly for you. So if you've had this treatment and you're prepared to share your favourite clinic below, then we can start a sort of little collection of brilliant clinics that we know and trust and we can recommend. And subscribe, that's what I'm here for. I did this video because I put a picture of it before and after on Instagram, and it kind of got lots and lots of questions, and I promised I would video about it. So basically I recorded this, me in a clinic, not a scrap of makeup on, getting my age spot zapped.